You already know that two new characters are coming to the Pokemon anime, Liko and Roy, ultimately replacing Ash Ketchum, the icon from the Pokemon franchise, for over 25 years. I thought it'd be fun to look back at Ash's most memorable moments in this video, so let's dive in. Oh, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let me know what your favorite moment with Ash Ketchum was throughout all these years. So we can't capture Ash's most memorable moments without telling the story of the events that took place in the first episode. So this is a very obvious choice, but it's best to get out of the way right away. We're introduced to beloved linchpin characters like Gary Oak, Professor Oak, and Misty. Ash receives Pikachu as his first Pokemon, but Pikachu has a strong dislike for Ash at first, but that quickly changes when Ash defends his weakened partner from an onslaught of Spearow. Mustering what strength it has, Pikachu lets off a massive Thundershock, saving them both from the attack. As they awaken, Ash and Pikachu see a mysterious golden Pokemon fly over the rainbow, with his Pokedex letting him know that there are still many Pokemon that haven't been discovered yet. It's an absolute classic episode that marks the beginning of a beautiful friendship between two of the most recognizable characters, not only in the franchise, but in the entire world. Bug Pokemon are my absolute favorite, and Ash catching Caterpie has definitely got to be one of his most memorable moments, since it was the first Pokemon he had actually had to work for to get. I say that ironically, as he kind of got it without actually battling it. He just threw a Pokeball at it, and the rest is history. But fans have a lot of attachment to this Pokemon over the years, with probably its most memorable moment being when Ash released it so it can start a family of its own with a pink Butterfree. It was devastatingly sad when it happened, but we've gotten closure after all these years later, as Ash finally reunited with Butterfree in the final episode of Pokemon Journeys. Beyond Caterpie being his first Pokemon, this catch is significant for many other reasons. It was the first Pokemon to evolve on screen, to be traded, and of course, to be released, which are all very important aspects in the games. It's amazing how prominent this one Pokemon has been throughout the years, and none of it would have happened if Ash never captured it. If you've ever watched an aDrive video, you probably know I like shiny Pokemon, so... Oh! No way! Oh my god! Yo, I feel like Ash out here, man. I feel like Ash out here. How do I catch this thing? And while the anime had a handful of alternative colored Pokemon in the Kanto portion, the first shiny Pokemon didn't make its appearance until Noctowl in the Johto Journeys episode Foul Play. Interestingly, Pokemon weren't referred to as shinies just yet, and they were called rare or different colors and terms like that. Believe it or not, the term shiny Pokemon was actually first created by fans based on the sparkling sound effect in animations at the start of an encounter when you get one in a game. Throughout the episode, this Noctowl refused to be captured, often hypnotizing its pursuers to either make its escape or sometimes sticking around to taunt them. But by the end of the episode, it ends up challenging Ash, who captures it pretty easily once it drops the trickery. With how popular shiny Pokemon have become to fans, I feel that this is a pretty significant moment, not just for Ash, but for the entire series as a whole. Let's just be thankful that shinies aren't this hard to capture in the games. Now, if you followed the anime, you know Ash has a habit of losing some pretty serious battles, but one of the most significant ones was when he faced Ritchie. After befriending Ritchie during some Team Rocket shenanigans, the two find out that they have to have a battle against each other in the next round of the Indigo Plateau Conference. Of course, more Team Rocket shenanigans almost caused Ash to miss the match entirely, but he eventually made it with plenty of exhausted Pokemon. In the end, though he lost, but not necessarily because he had weaker Pokemon, but because Charizard was still not obeying him at this point, taking a nap right on the battlefield. Though upset, this loss inspired him even more to work towards becoming a Pokemon master. Charizard's escapades lead us perfectly into our next entry when Ash finally earned Charizard's respect. Charizard had disobeyed Ash plenty of times since evolving, but the final straw was when it faced off against the character of the day's Poliwrath. This battle resulted in a humiliating loss for Charizard, freezing it solid with an Ice Beam. From there, Ash and friends helped the weakened Charizard recuperate his strength, with even Ash's hands being rubbed raw as a result. This reminded Charizard of everything Ash had done for it, rekindling not only its flame, but its respect and loyalty for Ash. In the end, Charizard got a rematch against that Poliwrath and was able to defeat it, and since then, was a completely reliable partner for Ash. Okay, we can't talk about the Pokemon franchise without bringing up Charizard yet again. This time we're going to talk about when Ash left Charizard at the Charicific Valley. Since becoming a good partner for Ash, the duo felt on top of the world until encountering Liza and her band of wild Charizard in the Charicific Valley. She and all of the Charizard she cared for humbled Ash's very quickly, proving that the both of them have a lot to learn about being a better trainer and battler. In the end, Charizard perseveres and is accepted into the valley. Knowing how good of an opportunity this is for Charizard to get stronger, Ash acts harshly towards Charizard and runs away in an attempt to make it easier for him to leave one of his longtime friends behind. The final shot at the end of this episode is so iconic, with Ash running, hiding his tears while Charizard roars in the distance. Now let's get into a series of important battles, starting with his battle against Alain in the Lumiose Conference Final. They had several battles before this, with Alain and his Mega Charizard always having the upper hand against Ash and his Battle Bond Greninja. The battle was truly epic, showcasing all the skills Ash had gained over the years with some really great battle choreography. Alas, Ash would still lose in the end, shocking many fans around the world. This match was highly anticipated to be Ash's first League Championship win, so when he lost, needless to say, people were pretty upset. With that said, it's still one of his most iconic performances, and one that the community will never forget. Now let's talk about some victories under Ash's belt, starting with his win against Gary in the Silver Conference. The two have had an extremely bitter rivalry since the first episode, with Gary constantly belittling and antagonizing Ash throughout the series. This continued all the way until the Silver Conference, where they would finally be pitted against each other. Their battle marked the return of Ash's Charizard, and the reveal that Gary's starter Pokemon was Squirtle, now a fully evolved Blastoise. In the end, Ash prevailed against his first ever adversary, earning him respect, friendship, and ending their rivalry. He may not have went far in this conference, but the win against Gary was certainly a memorable one. But now we move on to the real big wins, and of course we have to talk about his win over Gladion in the Manalo Conference. Much like the games, the Alola League in the anime was newly formed, and it needed to crown its first ever champion. Ash once again found himself in the finals of the league against his rival of the region, only this time he came out with victory. This was definitely an exciting time to be a Pokemon fan, seeing Ash win his first real championship, as it certainly felt long overdue. This win also prompted an exhibition match with the Masked Royal, which we now know to be Professor Kukui, if it wasn't obvious. This match was a complete spectacle, featuring some unforgettable animation and an amazing showdown between Ash's Torracat and its rival, Incineroar, as well as the final one-on-one battle between Pikachu and Tapu Koko. If you haven't seen these episodes yet, do yourself a favor and go watch them. But of course, we have Ash's most recent accomplishment, and that's defeating Leon in the World Coronation Series. Unlike previous championships, this was on a worldwide scale, having Ash take on some of the most renowned trainers in the world, like Steven Stone and Cynthia. Ash managed to pull through and get himself a battle with the Monarch Leon. Both of them fought extremely hard, with Leon appearing to have the upper hand towards the end. However, while almost passing out, Pikachu had an encouraging vision of all its friends, cheering him on, getting its head back in the game, enough to put out one final big attack. Pikachu was able to overpower Leon's Charizard, securing Ash as the new Monarch. Naturally, winning such a prestigious title led to speculation that Ash would be retired, since you really can't go any higher from there. Now, of course, we know that that ends up being true, and Ash's journey of becoming a Pokemon master will continue, just off screen for the time being. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane as we relive some of the best moments for Ash Ketchum in the Pokemon anime TV series. I'm excited to see what's next for Liko and Roy as they set off on brand new adventures. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel for more awesome Pokemon content. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this one right here, and don't forget this one because it's pretty darn awesome. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you soon.